the heaviest metal credit card of all time. Rumored to be one of only 18 in existence. Plated with the very same tungsten that forged the International Space Station. And wielded at business dinners like a samurai sword. It's a classic corporate power move. But the real power move? Having end-to-end visibility on your most critical shipments. FedEx, the new power move.
Nate Bargatze.
Look, I say a lot of dumb stuff. I try to keep it in front of large groups. Seems to go better that way.
Big Dumb Eyes World Tour.
When you say something dumb one-on-one, it's a lot for that person. I'll say it, then I can just feel that they feel the weight of my life on their shoulders.
Tickets and info at NateBargatze.com. Don't miss the Big Dumb Eyes World Tour. Nate Bargatze.
Calling all collectors! Topps NBA basketball trading cards are back. It's available in the Grizzlies Den by Fanatics and online at Topps.com. Rip into bold color parallels, electric inserts, relics, and autographed cards from today's biggest stars and the next-gen talent. Look out for rookie cards of Cooper Flagg and Dylan Harper, plus Grizzlies favorites John Morant, Jalen Wells, and so many more. You don't want to miss this drop. Grab your set before it's gone.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
Manhattan, New York City. Bennett Doyle back in Memphis producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day better than us. And I hope you're ready to watch the Grizzlies snap a 5-game losing streak, because I sure am, and there's no better team, or at least there aren't many teams better to do it against than the Sacramento Kings. There aren't many teams in the world right now that have a worse record and a longer losing streak than your Memphis Grizzlies. But the Sacramento Kings, they check both of those boxes. Worse record, longer losing streak. They couldn't be coming to town at a better time. We'll talk about it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you in the next segment. Michael Wallace going to join me, senior editor, Grind City Media. I'll talk all things Grizz with him as we get ready for Kings Grizzlies tonight inside FedEx Forum. Michael Wallace will be here in about 20 minutes. Finish talking to Michael. We will take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we'll discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories, among them Penny Hardaway's Tigers. We'll play the #1 team in the AP poll tonight. They're going to do it in the Bahamas. It's Memphis Purdue on CBS Sports Network. I'll get you ready for that in about 40 minutes. Fun college basketball game last night in stores. Arizona upset UConn. So that's 3 top 15 victories for Tommy Lloyd's Wildcats in the first 17 days of this season. I've moved them to #1 in the top 25 and 1. Tell you more about that in just a bit. Ole Miss football coach Lane Kiffin still hasn't made any decisions about anything, but Cooper Patagna over at CBSSports.com has a list of all of the Power Conference openings, with the premise basically being, hey, Lane Kiffin can't coach all of these places, and he might just stay at Ole Miss. So if Florida doesn't get Lane Kiffin or LSU doesn't get Lane Kiffin, where do they turn next? He's got some suggestions. I'll share them with you. We'll do that a little later on in the show. MLB is coming to Netflix. I'll tell you how and why. We'll do that in the third segment. And do you miss renting movies? I personally don't. I knew you would. I personally don't, but like if you're more like Bennett than me, I got good news for you. You will be able to rent movies again very soon, thanks to something called Letterboxd. I'm going to get Bennett to explain what's going on in the year 2025. We're going to do that during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's carry out, and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to, and man, I wish the sun would be a little more cooperative today, Bennett. How are you doing back home?
Well, it's pretty gloomy here. So I'm actually, I enjoy the gloom, but I would assume that you would prefer the situation that you're in over the one here. You do look angelic this morning, I will say.
I don't feel angelic, but it's nice of you to describe me, at least my appearance, that way. Full transparency, I recognized, I don't know, about 10 minutes ago that for whatever reason, my room does not have a lamp in it. It's like somebody came in here and stole my lamp, which under normal circumstances wouldn't matter to me at all. I don't need much light to get around. But when you're doing a show, it's better to have proper lighting. And you would think, well, GP, just open the big blinds in your beautiful hotel room in Midtown Manhattan and let the sun light you. And, well, you can see what happens when I do that. Look at me.
Mm-hmm.
You see what's going on here,
You look
Bennett?
like an angel.
Thank you. That's sweet of you to say.
Yeah.
That's sweet of you. That's sweet of you to say. So we'll get through this as best we can, and I'll be better prepared for my lighting situation tomorrow. If you don't mind, let's start with your Memphis Grizzlies because Game 16 of a scheduled 82, it's going to be played tonight in downtown Memphis. Grizz Kings, 7 o'clock, inside FedEx Forum. Tickets are available. Grizzlies.com, and a real testament to the mess of a franchise the Sacramento Kings are. The Grizzlies are actually favored tonight, despite being down 4-point guards, plus Brandon Clark, and despite being on a 5-game losing streak, and despite having Jaren Jackson Jr. listed as doubtful on the status report with a right ankle sprain, presumably suffered in Tuesday night's loss in San Antonio. We all saw it. He was like just running down the court, turned his ankle, just got hurt jogging, if you can believe that. Now he's unlikely to play tonight. Incredible. So the Grizzlies will likely now have, I did the math on this, about $100 million in salary for this season in street clothes tonight, probably. Not ideal. Regardless, they are still listed as 2.5-point favorites because the Kings stink and are on the second night of a back-to-back after losing 113-99 last night in Oklahoma City to fall to 3-12 on the season. Big Bet Bennett, the Grizzlies have a bad record, are on a losing streak, and are missing players. But I got good news. The Kings are worse. They have a longer losing streak and could also be missing a key player tonight. Domantas Sabonis, for whatever it's worth, did not play last night in Oklahoma City. You ready to snap a losing streak? I am. This is how you do it.
Yeah, I hope so. They do have guys that can fill it up and have filled it up against us, and DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine, who literally goes for 20-plus every single time he plays against the Grizzlies. It's like without fail that happens. So you got to prepare for that tonight. It sounds like there's a chance Sabonis could play tonight, and if he does, I am actually looking forward to that matchup between him and Zach Edey. I think that's kind of fun and something to look forward to tonight. But yeah, man, you've lost 5 in a row. They've lost 7 in a row. Someone's got to give tonight, and it feels like the literal best opportunity to be able to snap a losing streak.
I mean, something's got to give.
Something's got to give, brother. Something's got to give.
This is one of those games where somebody's going to say at some point that something's got to give. What happened to your stomach and your heart when you saw Jaren Jackson Jr. listed as doubtful?
I had a feeling. I mean, just you saw when he sprained his ankle or, stepped on the back of someone's foot in that Spurs game. I had a feeling he would pop up on the injury report. He was able to finish the game, but you know how that goes. Like you sprain your ankle, you mildly sprain your ankle, and you're able to finish a game, but then it hurts the next day. So I was wondering if it was kind of going to be a situation like that, and it appears that way. So we'll see if he's. The last guy that was doubtful was Cedric Howard. He ended up getting upgraded to questionable and playing in that Spurs game. So we'll see if it's maybe a similar situation with Jaren tonight. Who knows?
We'll keep an eye on @Grizzlies PR for a possible update, but as of this moment, Jaren Jackson Jr. listed as doubtful for tonight. So John Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr. Seem likely to both be in street clothes. We know Ja will, of course, with calf soreness, and Jaren Jackson Jr. now listed as doubtful with a right ankle sprain suffered in the loss to the Spurs on Tuesday. With Sabonis, it's just been all sorts of stuff with him. He's had like a ribcage injury, some knee soreness, hasn't been out for any lengthy period of time, been trying to play through most of it, but he did not play last night in Oklahoma City. His status will presumably be updated a little later on today by Sacramento. Either way, regardless of whether Sabonis plays or not, the Kings are expected to get Keegan Murray back. He has been sidelined this entire season. He will make his debut tonight in Memphis. I guess theoretically he could have played last night in Oklahoma City, but it might be one of those deals where first game of the season coming off injury, you're not going to play in a back-to-back. We got a better chance of winning in Memphis than we have him winning in Oklahoma City. So sit out OKC. Let's go play at FedEx Forum. You think that's what went on there, Bennett?
I do think that's what went on there. I mean, frankly, I think it's probably what's going on with Sabonis is it's like, okay, you're not going to play a back-to-back. You've been dealing with injury, so let's save you for the Memphis game instead of this Thunder game. Yeah.
Right. So two teams that I would say desperate for a win. I don't know how desperate the Kings are.
I'm desperate, buddy. I'm desperate.
I clearly know what our mindset is here in Memphis. I know the rest of the world wants us to trade everybody and tank.
Yeah,
but that's not what we're doing. All right, that's not what we're doing. It's not what we want to do. And so I know where our mindset is. We are desperate for a win. The Kings, they couldn't get here fast enough, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know what the Kings' mindset is. Like, do they care? Do they still want to be good? Is that still their priority? Or are they still chasing something? I'll let people who follow Sacramento more closely answer that question. But clearly, the Grizzlies are desperate for a win over anybody to snap this losing streak, to, maintain or improve on where they are in the standings. Obviously, the goal is to be in the postseason. They're still not very far out of that, but every game counts. And if you can't get a home one against a team that's got a worse record than you and has lost more consecutive games than you, then you start asking big questions about how many of these are you going to actually be able to get, regardless of the opponent, until the roster is healthier and better equipped to handle a normal NBA schedule. As it is, you just get through it however you get through it. That involves Vince Williams Jr. Playing point guard, which is something I don't think the Grizzlies ever anticipated him doing when they drafted him or developed him. But you're down 4 point guards. The job is Vince Williams Jr. Belongs to Vince Williams Jr. He did a good job in that role against San Antonio. But again, the issues are the trickle down. Even if Vince is good, once you move off of him at point guard, you're then turning to somebody else who probably shouldn't be playing that type of role for you at the lead guard position. So the trickle down has a real negative impact. But one way or another, as a 2.5 point favorite at home, you're playing a team coming off of a back-to-back. You got to try to knock this out.
You got to get this one.
If Bennett, if we sitting here tomorrow and I got bad lighting and we're talking about a 6-game losing streak because you couldn't beat the stupid Sacramento Kings at home on a Thursday night, I don't know how we're going to do that. We're going to have to. That's not going to be fun. I don't look forward to that.
And I mean, we're debuting the City Edition jerseys tonight. Like, come on, man. Like, we need good vibes. We need good vibes tonight. I want the City Edition jerseys to go 1-0 tonight.
The City Edition jerseys need to go 1-0 tonight. So it's Grizzlies and Kings, 7 o'clock. Tickets are available, Grizzlies.com. Michael Wallace covers the team as well as anybody. He's going to join me right after this break. I'll pick his brain about all things Grizz. Michael Wallace going to join me on this other side. It's the Gary Parrish Show. I'm in New York. Bennett's back in Memphis. Be back after this break.
Southland Casino Hotel is helping you navigate to Santa. Win your share of over $550,000 in free play and a brand new Lincoln. Here Comes Santa takes flight on Saturday, November 1st, when you can begin earning entries. And don't forget the grand finale drawings on Saturday, November 29th and Saturday, December 27th to win a share of over $40,000 in free play or a brand new Lincoln. Win big during Here Comes Santa, only at Southland Casino Hotel.
Own the 2025-26 Grizzlies season with the 10-game Flex Pack, the ultimate way to catch all the action on your terms. Choose your favorite matchups from intense rivalries to weekend thrillers and customize your pack to fit your schedule. With 10 games to pick, you'll never miss the moments that matter most. Visit Grizzlies.com/packs today to build your perfect ticket pack and cheer on the Grizzlies your way. It's your team, your season, and your schedule. So don't miss out.
The Grizzlies are the one thing everyone in the family can agree on. So join us every Sunday this season for Sunday Family Fun Days. It's a steal at just $35 and includes a ticket to the game, a $10 food voucher, post-game free throws on the court, and a meet and greet with mascot Grizz. Space is limited, so grab your tickets now for this unique experience your family won't soon forget. Go to Grizzlies.com/Sunday and have a fun day. NBA released its new All-Star format. It's USA versus the world, which sounds a little scary for USA.
You very clearly aren't proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. I'll get a triple-double from LeBron and a big-time three from Steph Curry, and I'll gladly stand up.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The long goodbye begins. A very special evening with Journey. Final Frontier Tour. Journey. Tickets are on sale now at journeymusic.com. Your chance to say goodbye to the songs that changed our lives. Journey. Final Frontier Tour.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. I'm in New York City. Bennett Doyle back in Memphis inside the Built Ford Tough studio. And I'm joined on Thursdays in the second segment by Michael Wallace, senior editor, Grind City Media. You see him, you hear him on the calls with Eric Hasseltime. He's in the Built Ford Tough studio right now. Michael Wallace, I appreciate you getting out in the rain this morning to join me. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well, man, doing well. So hopefully safe travels up there to you, and you get back safely as well, too, man. Always good to be on with you.
I hope so. Thank you for saying that. Before we talk Grizzlies specifically, there was a report from Shams Charania, ESPN, yesterday that detailed that the NBA is actively looking into and really trying to figure out why so many important basketball players are showing up on status reports. The list that was making the rounds yesterday is just incredible. Everybody from Giannis to Ja to Wemby. Too many elite players aren't healthy enough to play this game the way the NBA is requiring them to play it, and they're looking into it now. Is there going to be any other answer they find other than, I think we're playing the game too fast and too often, and the human bodies can't hold up to it?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, those are all the symptoms that lead into this kind of thing. Now, look, injuries have been around since the moment, basketball was invented, obviously, but it just doesn't seem like in the 80s and in the 90s and early 2000s we were seeing it to this degree. The games are coming so frequently. I was listening to NBA radio the other day on a drive, and one of the shows was talking about how, just 10 years ago, teams up to, what's today's date, Bennett? The 19th, 20th, whatever the day's date is.
20th.
Right? Okay, so go back to November 17th, 3 days ago. Teams had played 13 games by November 17th, like right now, right? 10 years ago, teams had only played half that amount of games from the start of the season to November, whatever that date was. So we're playing double the amount of games in a truncated amount of time. And that's because these new networks that you want to get as many national games out there as possible. You want to flood. You want to take advantage of this window that you have right now. Going up against the NFL and some of these other entities. Games are every day. There's still 6 to 7 preseason games as well, too. You're coming off training camp. There's just too much right now. And I really think one of the quickest solutions to that, shorten the preseason. We don't need 6 preseason games in the NBA. You need 2. Right? And then that gives you another 2 weeks that you can spread out the first few months of the season, and then you play every other day. It's a way to eliminate these back-to-backs, and the league has to find a way to do that. The injuries are going to happen, but they also put so much science into maintenance and all of these things that go into trying to maintain these players. So much money is spent on it, but we're still seeing the results as injury reports are being filled up.
Yeah, I think you and I are on the same page here. You can keep saying that the schedule's not the problem, but like nobody can play through it. So it clearly is on some level. And in the NFL, like I'm sure those billionaire owners are greedy on some level as well. In fact, I know they are. And if they could play on Sunday and then again on Wednesday and then again on Friday, I'm certain they would. But there's an understanding in that sport that the human body can't recover quickly enough for you to play that often. So they do it the way they do it. And we're going to have to come to grips with the reality that the human body is no longer equipped to play basketball as often as NBA players are being asked to play it at the pace at which they're being asked to play. It really is going to be as simple as that. And one way or another, they're going to have to alter the schedule, because I know it's awesome to have 82 games this frequently, but if it's 82 games this frequently, but none of the stars are in them too often, you're not delivering a good product to your fans, and that becomes, I think, a net negative.
And what you're also doing, Gary, is that you're spending millions of dollars. Each team now have these performance teams, these sports science teams. And you're paying these guys to tell you what the risks are. And then you're saying, okay, let's try to adhere to these risks. And guys are sitting out with things that guys wouldn't have sat out with 20 years ago, right? I mean, some of the things that you're trying to maintain and get guys through, you just strap them up and play. Like, I think guys probably sit out 20% more games now than they would maybe 2 decades ago or before that. I'm not saying a guy should be playing while he's injured, but guys have played through far worse things than what some of these guys are sitting out with now too. And then they're looking at the schedule and they're trying to, proactively say, okay, this would not be smart if you did this, this, and that. Sometimes you just got to play through it, man. And I'm not saying go back to the old Michael Jordan way of saying, you know what, I need to play 82. I'm going to play all 82. I can give you a perfect example right here in Memphis. You look at Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. This guy has elbow issues, right? He's had an elbow pain, soreness, and everything that he's just refusing to sit out with because he wants to continue his Iron Man streak and he wants to be one of the most available players. Some other guys would easily have sat out 2 or 3 games with the same thing that he's dealing with. So it's one of those things where, the culture now is sit them out and let's just err on the side of caution. And then I think that becomes a problem when your superstars are doing it.
So the biggest headline of the past 24 hours, Jaren Jackson Jr. has been added to the status report, listed as doubtful for tonight with a right ankle sprain suffered in Tuesday's game against San Antonio. Do we have any sense for how severe this is? He obviously played through it, but it's caused issues subsequently.
Yeah, I was surprised that he came back in that San Antonio game. But again, your adrenaline and all of those things in the moment, you play through it, right? It doesn't surprise me that he's on the injury report now because of it. He just didn't play well at the end of that game. And, he wasn't playing well at the end of games anyway, but I think the ankle injury kind of, made that even worse. So I don't get a sense that it's anything that's going to be long term, but it is, he didn't just get ruled out. He got ruled doubtful. So that tells me that, it's treatment, it's how he's feeling. I'm going to be smart about it, give him a couple of days off right here, and then, you play again on Saturday, and you'll see where he is Saturday. So he's doubtful, which means he probably won't play. However, Cedric Coward was doubtful with a foot issue in Cleveland the day of and ended up playing, right? So, these things can go either way, but I would suspect or expect Jaren Jackson to probably sit this one out and maybe try to give it a go and see where he is Saturday.
So the Grizzlies are obviously 4-11 through 15 games. The roster is ravaged once again, as you know.
Yeah.
2 years ago. They lead the NBA in injuries and missed games. Last year, I believe I heard you on Jess's show earlier this week say they were second in that same category. We think we couldn't possibly see it get worse than that, and yet here they are down 4 point guards. Vince Williams starting at lead guard, which is he's done a nice job, but that's not ideal. When people ask me about it, you start talking, and sometimes other folks will chalk it up to, hey, it's just bad luck. Other times, people have stronger opinions and try to assign different real things to it. Yeah. How do you answer the question when people say, what is going on with the Grizzlies and all these injuries? Is it just bad luck or something more?
No, I think it's bad luck. I think these guys are just fragile. Honestly, and you get it wears you down. It wears you down year after year after year when the same guys end up getting injured in different ways, right? It's not their fault that they get injured, but at a certain point, you have to look at the long term. Okay, do we still need to continue to bank on this way that we're doing it, on this way that we're assessing these injuries, and on these players who are continuing to, whatever reason, get injured? Can you rely on this? Is there a different way that we need to look at this? We're 15 games into the season, and this has happened 3 straight years, right? And I can go back even further than that and find injuries that go back even before then. But, when you talk about a Jaren Jackson Jr., Desmond Bane, who's already gone, Ja Morant-led core, it's the same thing every single year. And it's just unfortunate. It's frustrating. And you just want to get beyond it. But at the end of the day, injuries happen. Like, Jaren didn't go out there and try to step on someone's foot, right? He went out there to try to make a play. Now, how do you want to approach the rest of this season? Because you can easily say, okay, Ja's out for 2 to 3 weeks. Jaren could be out maybe a game or two. Maybe you want to extend it. And then you say, okay, this season is already getting away from us. Like, how many years do you want to do that too? Because you're 15 games into the season that you spent an entire offseason promoting, planning for, hoping for, and all of these things. And now you're saying, all right, man, we're going to lean towards, trying to maximize what the long-term future is and maybe play for something different than making the playoff. I'm not really ready to go there right now. It is frustrating to be here as an employee, to also cover it, to be a fan, and all of those kind of things. And I just need the Grizzlies to get to a point where we can turn the corner and change that narrative right now, because it's a cloud over the franchise right now with injuries.
There really is. And obviously Ja is the face of all of this, fairly or unfairly. And this is why, as I said earlier in the week, when you hear national guys, place him outside of the top 10 of point guards in the world or outside of the top 30 of players in the world, you can be frustrated with their disrespect, if you want to label it that way, if you want, but they always sort of settle into, hey, listen, when he plays, sure, he's probably better than this, but he just doesn't play that often. And we have reached the point, or we've passed the point, where it's just, you can't argue with that. Like, I can never tell you why Ja Morant will not be playing, but it is reasonable to assume at this point that he might not. And it's been years and years and years of this. And, I watch the fans go back and forth on social media every day, and I see the frustration, and I don't even try to talk them out of it anymore. Like, if you move to Syracuse, you move there under the assumption that it's going to rain a lot, because it always does. And this is kind of similar. I don't know that it's anybody's fault, but it's a constant thing that has become a real burden for the franchise.
Well, here's another thing too. Like 2 years ago, when Ja Morant was suspended, right, when he first served the 25-game suspension, you knew that, okay, that took him out, right? But when he came back, he was awesome. So you were like, okay, you can still vouch for this guy being top 10 in the league, because when he's available, he is absolutely awesome. This year, he's been available having a worst season of his career, shooting-wise. His shooting numbers are career worst at this point. So even when he's been available, he hasn't been dynamic and great, right? He had great moments, but this hasn't been a season where it seems like everything is crashing down right now around him, and he's got to figure out a way to work his way through this, because 7 years into the league, man, you got to be right there on that come. You got to be ready to turn that corner if you're going to be the kind of player that you were built to be and that people expected you to be. So whether it's injuries, whether it's issues, whether it's, chemistry, Ja Morant, man, listen, man, people gave you the benefit of the doubt. People are giving him the benefit of the doubt for a long time. And now it's time to pay up. And it's on him to get healthy, to stay healthy, and then to get out there and be effective and figure out a way to make that happen. But the franchise has to do its part to help him as well, too, and the coaching staff and the teammates and all of those things. It's just, hey, look, this season already, 15 games in, is teetering for a lot of different reasons, and they got to get it back on track quickly.
He's still only 26 years old. In theory, this should be like the heart of the prime of his career. And yet, before he was injured, he was playing and not playing well. There are some national people who genuinely believe, they've said this out loud, they think his best years are behind him. Bennett pushes back on that and says, no. Where are you at on that? Are you concerned at all that maybe Ja Morant's best years are actually behind him?
And I don't even think we've seen his absolute best yet. That's the scary part. I don't think we've seen Ja sustain 30 games of his absolute best play yet. So for that, I kind of hedge towards Bennett, because I do think, whether it's here in Memphis, whether it's 10 years, I mean, not 10 years, but, whether it's here in Memphis or whether it's somewhere else or whether it's whatever, I still think Ja Morant has a chance to be a very, very special player. I think his best year is still ahead of him. And you got to believe that, because if he could just put it together, man, I don't want to make the comparison as players or franchises, but a lot of people, and one person, at least in Dallas's franchise, thought, Luka Doncic's best was behind him, right? And he was never going to take himself seriously and become the player that he needed to be to build a franchise back around. Luka has changed that dynamic, but it took him having to go somewhere else to do that. I sincerely hope it doesn't take Ja Morant having to be somewhere else to reach that potential that he has. I think he could do it here. I still think there's room for him to do it here. But he's got to get past these injuries and sort of these issues that we've seen year after year after year. And he's not the only one. He's not the only one. I will not put this completely solely on Ja Morant, because there's enough responsibility to go around when it comes to the Grizzlies not being where they need to be right now as an organization on that basketball floor.
Let's talk about some positive stuff. Zach Edey is back. He has changed the team undeniably just by his presence and size. It still resulted in 2 losses, but you can see the impact he makes just by being out there. What have you made from what you've seen from Zach Edey so far?
Man, Zach just looks different. Like, Gary, you've seen him at his peak of his powers in college as a 2-time, Naismith Player of the Year. And physically, he's different. Like, mobility-wise, he's different. Fundamentally, he's doing some things differently. Like, it doesn't take much to impress me when I jump out of my seat when I see Zach catch it high, keep it high, and shoot it high, right? I'm like, okay, he gets it now. That's the way that Duncan and all these guys will be playing. He gives you the spacing. He gives you the defensive presence. All rebounds come his way, whether he touches it, impacts it, or whatever on either end. He frees up space. And that's why it's kind of frustrating to see Jaren have this ankle issue, because now Jaren finally has the space to operate and the opportunities to operate. His shots just have to start falling. So you needed Zach Edey to come back to calibrate everybody else. We saw for 5 minutes and 58 seconds what that Ja Morant, Zach Edey pick and roll and lob dunk looked like in Cleveland, and then it was gone just like that. So those guys need to come back and be able to figure out a way to maximize Zach Edey, because Zach Edey was definitely a breath of fresh air for what this team needed. And hopefully it can sustain and kick things going.
The rookie Cedric Howard has been moved into the starting lineup. I think the hope when you select him is that someday he'll develop into a top 3 player in this franchise. 15 games into his career, he might already be that. Is he a top 3 player on this team right now?
Oh yeah, right now, yes. When you look at availability, Jaren is doubtful right now, but yes, with Ja out, then the most important players you have in your rotation right now, Zach Edey, Cedric Howard. I mean, that's 1-2 from that standpoint. And then you almost got to say Vince Williams is the third, because he has the ball in his hands the most. And I know it doesn't look pretty. He's an unorthodox player. But this guy almost had a triple-double with 1 turnover the other night against San Antonio. Yes, the Grizzlies need to be in a position where they can finish games and execute at the final 4 minutes or whatever, because it happened in Cleveland, it happened in San Antonio. But that just tells you where the things are right now. So if you're looking at this team and you're saying, look, we're cratering right now, we know that there's a point guard need or a facilitator or some, like you said, I loved it when you said it the other day, dribblers.
Yes.
Just find dribblers. We need professional dribblers, right? And you can get someone in here. Maybe you have to make a move. Maybe you have to say, okay, this season means enough to salvage. It is salvageable. Let's try to avoid cratering too far and falling too far back in the West, because there's still something to salvage this season.
Last thing before I get you out of here, the Kings are in town. The Grizzlies are 2.5-point favorites. With this roster, there aren't going to be many games that the Grizzlies are favored in until things get a little healthier. But this is one, at least in the betting markets, that they're supposed to win. How important is it to snap this 5-game losing streak tonight?
Oh, it is very crucial, because now you're in this stretch where you really could, if you project this out, you can go on a stretch now where you can win 4 out of 6 or 6 out of 8, because now you have the Kings twice, you have San Antonio again when Victor Wembanyama is still going to be out. The Clippers are searching for some things. They haven't really figured it out yet. And then you got Dallas on Saturday. So if there's a stretch right here where you can almost get right, this is the time to get right. But you can't get right unless the right guys are on the floor. And that's why, again, when everyone was saying, man, just wait till Zach Edey and Brandon Clark and Ty Jerome get back, it's going to work out. Well, guess what? Zach Edey came back, and then Jaren Jackson Jr. and John Morant went out, right? So it's almost hard to look forward to it, but this is a critical stretch, and it starts tonight. You have a chance to beat a Sacramento team that's probably worse off than you are right now in terms of how things are coming together. Now, they have healthier bodies, but this is one where you definitely want to win. You want to feel good about it.
That is Michael Wallace, senior editor, Grind City Media. Make sure you're reading him, grindcitymedia.com. Follow him on X, @MyMicCheck. That's @MyMicCheck. You're the best, buddy. I appreciate your time.
Hey, thanks a lot, Gary. Take care now.
All right, that's Michael Wallace, Grind City Media. We come back, turn our attention to college basketball. The Tigers are down in the Bahamas, and they're playing the nation's top-ranked team today on CBS Sports Network. It's Memphis against Purdue. I'll get you ready for it next. Gary Parrish Show presented by Ortho South.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no-looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Now that's the new edition way.
I feel like there's another level we can take it to.
What you think, Mike?
2 steps ahead of you, Slick.
What's good, bro?
What you doing, man?
I'm in.
Woman, you don't even know what I'm getting ready to ask you.
Here's the vision. All 3 of us on the same stage every night.
Gonna be crazy.
No barriers, no separation.
It'll be like 9 kings and a queen.
The next level starts now.
Memphis. Monday Night Raw returns with non-stop action, unmatched energy, and the superstars you love.
We don't get mad, we get even. We don't go home till we beat them. This is our time, we're leaving. Give me the crown undefeated.
Witness the moments you'll never forget. Monday Night Raw, Memphis. Monday, February 16th. Tickets and ringside packages on sale next Friday.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. And that's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays, in the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
Big game for Penny Hardaway's Tigers coming up a little later today, 5 o'clock Central on CBS Sports Network. It's Memphis against number 1 Purdue in the first game of the Bahamas Championship at the Bahamas Convention Center in the Bahamas. Purdue is listed as a 14.5-point favorite. Bennett, do you believe your alma mater can stay inside that number?
Interesting that it's 14.5 now. It's gotten a little bit tighter, so that's good. That's
I think it opened 14.5, went to 16.5, and maybe has come back down to 14.5. What does that tell you?
Not a lot. I don't really know. I think probably because it's a neutral court that's why the line is like that. But from what I'm hearing, there's a ton of Purdue fans there, so it's probably going to be a heavy Purdue crowd.
I would assume a lot of Purdue fans, heavy Purdue crowd, because think about it. Like, this is an all-time great season on tap, and you want to, if you're a fan, enjoy every minute of it that you can. So they've probably been planning for this trip for a while, whereas, Memphis is having a hard time getting fans to come down to downtown Memphis to see Memphis play. So good luck trying to get them to go to the Bahamas. Purdue, on the other hand, they fill up Mackey Arena every game, and I'm sure they'll have a nice portion of their fan base in the Bahamas today. If I asked you this question, how would you answer it? More likely, the Tigers win the game or lose by 30. I tell you, one of these things is definitely happening. They're either going to win the game or they're going to lose by 30. Which one do you think is more likely?
I mean, I got to say lose by 30. I hate the choice, but I got to say lose because the thing is I think Purdue could not play well and still win. That's the issue here today. I just think that they've got the talent, they've got the experience together. That group's been together for a minute. So it's tough. Like the Tigers are. I'm already kind of like. Again, I'm excited to see my team play against the number 1 team in the country. Penny Hardaway has beaten the number 1 team in the country before. Little bit of a different scenario there because it was a team that was in your league, and so there's a lot of familiarity here. You don't ever play Purdue, so a little bit different. But I'm excited to watch my team play the number 1 team in the country.
You know how sometimes you'll see a graphic and it'll be like a matchup breakdown. It'll be like front court advantage, back court advantage, depth advantage, coaching advantage, and you put a check over here or a check over there. Like if you did that with this matchup, Memphis has no advantage anywhere. Not in any. They don't have better guards. They don't have better bigs. They aren't more talented. They don't have the best player. They don't have the better coach. There is no advantage. You have no advantage anywhere on the court or in the arena. Nowhere. But this is probably going to be difficult, Bennett. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I think it's going to be difficult. I think that whatever happens today, we're really going to be looking at tomorrow as a big opera. Because, again, I do think, regardless of who you play tomorrow, whether it's Wake Forest or Texas Tech, I do think that if you were able to win that game, you're coming back saying, okay, we got off to a rough start, but maybe we can build on this a little bit where it's not all disastrous. Like we can right this ship. So obviously tomorrow is going to be super important regardless of what happens today against Purdue. Because again, they are way up against it.
Well, if you could take 1-1 as a Memphis fan right now, you would take
Without
it and just
question.
get out of there. The problem here is that you're 1-2 coming off of a loss to UNLV, probably going to get embarrassed today on national television, and then probably going to lose again tomorrow, because if you play Texas Tech, you're a double-digit underdog or something close to that. And if you play Wake Forest, you're not as big of an underdog, but you are an underdog. And Wake Forest isn't as good as Purdue or Texas Tech, but is definitely better than UNLV. Yeah. So regardless of what happens today, you're not supposed to bounce back tomorrow. That's the problem with this team and this schedule. It appears this team is not equipped to deal with the schedule, but as always, we'll see. Just some bullet points on Purdue. Braden Smith is the point guard. He was the Big Ten Player of the Year last season. He was a consensus All-American, one of only 3 All-Americans to return to college basketball. And actually 2 of those 3 are playing in the Bahamas today. One of them is Braden Smith at Purdue. The other is JT Toppin at Texas Tech. And the only other consensus All-American from last season to return to college this season, it's actually PJ Haggerty, who is now starring at Kansas State.
That's annoying.
Up front, Purdue's got Trey Kaufman-Wren. He's a preseason first-team All-American. He's been a monster since rejoining the team after missing a couple of early games with minor injuries. They got a guy named Oscar Clough out of the transfer portal. He averaged a double-double at the mid-major level last season. That is mostly translating to good stuff so far this season. They got an Israeli guard who's coming off the bench. He could maybe be considered the best backup point guard in the country. His name's Omar Meyer. And then Fletcher Lawyer is another, 4-year starter, 3-point shooter who probably isn't going to play in the NBA. He's not that kind of athlete, but a really good college player who provides stability in all of the ways a 4-year starter can. So, they're right there with Houston as the favorite to win the national championship in the betting markets. And, again, this is a really tough task to ask this Memphis team that it seems to have no identity whatsoever to try to go out and compete with a Purdue team that knows exactly what it is and exactly what it's doing.
Yeah, well, I'll be paying close attention to who does compete. If they end up getting down big in this game, I will be paying attention to who is competing and still competing in the game. And I'm sure Penny Hardaway is going to as well, because they're going to have to find a group that plays hard together. He said that, he said as much, because right now we know that there's a couple guys on this team that, frankly, just didn't show up in the UNLV game. They should have won that game. Come on. It's so stupid that they lost that game.
Well, I guess my larger point would be playing hard today still probably gets you knocked around pretty good,
right?
But obviously you need to figure out who you can rely on to at least compete. Otherwise, this thing is going to get way worse before it gets better, and it might not get better. Either way, 5 o'clock tip. CBS Sports Network. We've got Inside College Basketball at 4:30. That's why I'm in New York. I'll be in studio at 4:30. 30-minute pregame show with me, Brent Stover, Wally Zerbiak, and Emeka Okafor. Then it's Memphis Purdue at 5 o'clock. CBS Sports Network.
Number 2.
Fun college basketball game last night in Storrs, Connecticut. Final score, Arizona 71, UConn 67. So Tommy Lloyd's Wildcats go on the road, on campus, hostile environment, pull off the upset. Yes, UConn was shorthanded, missing a 5-star freshman, plus their best rebounder, Terrace Reed.
Why didn't you tell me that?
Bennett, I can't hold your hand every day.
I was led astray yesterday in the biggest game. I was. If I would have known they were missing 2 of their best players, I would have never picked UConn.
I can't hold your hand every day, Bennett.
I won't call for a void. I thought about coming in here and demanding a void. I won't do it today. I won't do it today.
It's not my responsibility to hold your hand every day. Fine. All right? I'm not going to be here someday. You realize that, right? Mm-hmm. And you're going to have to make these picks without me someday.
Fine. That's
all right? I can't hold your hand every day.
You win some, you lose some.
UConn was shorthanded, but still, it's a historically great start to this season for Arizona. They were ranked in the preseason, but not as high as clearly they should have been, because now they already have 3 wins over preseason top 15 teams, specifically 3 wins over preseason top 12 teams. It's victories over Florida, UConn, and UCLA. So just 17 days into the season, Arizona has beaten the programs that have produced the past 3 national champions. That's UConn, went back-to-back, followed by Florida, and the program that has more men's national championships in basketball than any program in history, that is UCLA, largely because of all those titles John Wooden won. This is only the 3rd team in the past 30 years to record 3 top 15 victories in their first 5 games of the season. So most schools don't even schedule this aggressively, and when they do, they can't deliver against the schedule. But Arizona has done it. They're now 5-0, and I just respected the resume. and moved them to number 1 in the top 25 and 1. Like I wrote, I don't know if they're the best team in the country, but I know they clearly have the best resume at this point, and I won't apologize for rewarding excellence. If you're going to be confident enough and aggressive enough to go out and schedule like this, and then your team delivers, I feel like I can reward that. So Arizona is now number 1 in the top 25 and 1. Purdue is now number 2. Houston is number 3. UConn down to number 4. And BYU is down to number 5.
Number 3.
Lane Kiffin still has not announced where he plans to coach football next season, despite the whole world wanting to know. But over at CBSSports.com, they make the point in a piece that's on the homepage that, hey, you know, everybody wants Lane Kiffin, but even if Lane Kiffin does leave Ole Miss, he can't leave Ole Miss for everybody's job. So he might be the Florida coach, but that's still going to mean that, you know, LSU's got to find a new coach, and Auburn's got to find a new coach. Or he might be the LSU coach, but then Florida's got to find a new coach. Or he might just stay at Ole Miss, and then everybody's got to move on to secondary options. So just thought it was interesting as we continue to talk about the coaching carousel, where CBSSports.com has some of these jobs getting filled. In other words, if LSU cannot land Lane Kiffin, where should LSU turn? Here's what CBS Sports says. It's your friend John Summerall down there at vulnerable Tulane.
I mean, he's there. Like, it's that makes sense, right?
I mean, I guess it makes sense, sure. But when you are setting your sights on the SEC coach of a top 10 team, you probably feel a little disappointed if you have to go get the head coach at vulnerable Tulane, although he could prove to be, you know, the best hire. It's just, it won't have the fan base as excited as a Lane Kiffin announcement would. But John Summerall would be the candidate at LSU, according to CBSSports.com. Down at Florida, if you can't get Lane Kiffin, they say turn to Brent Key at Georgia Tech. He's flipped that program.
Yes, no question about it. I mean, they're doing good things there. I think he's definitely going to get another gig.
At Penn State, they say the target should be Clark Lee. At Vanderbilt, and at Auburn.
Yeah, but he's a Vanderbilt guy. He went there, so I don't know about that. Maybe.
And at Auburn, they say the top target should be John Summerall at Tulane, but if they can't get him because he takes the LSU job, then you turn to Eli Drinkwitz at Missouri. Do you leave Missouri for Auburn?
I'd say yes. I don't think it's as a sure thing as it once was, but I would still say probably yes.
Probably yes. It's a big job, but it's also a complicated job, as every coach who works there finds out very quickly.
Right.
So I don't know. I'll let Eli make that decision. But if you want more coaching carousel stuff, you can find it. It's on the homepage over at CBSSports.com.
Number 4.
Major League Baseball is coming to Netflix. Opening night game will be streamed on Netflix. They'll have the Home Run Derby and the Field of Dreams game. So they're not going to get into the business of broadcasting a lot of MLB regular season stuff, but these big events, MLB is going to take them to Netflix. And it seems to make sense to me because, as we've talked about before, whether it's a Jake Paul fight or anything else, like that Netflix audience is just, it's the biggest audience available right now. You put something on Netflix, it's going to do bigger numbers than if you put it somewhere else. There's a lot of data to support that, and so it's not surprising to me that MLB would want to get in on the Netflix phenomenon. And just know that on the day of that Home Run Derby, like millions and millions and millions, hundreds of millions of people are gonna go to Netflix.com on their home screen, and they're going to see Aaron Judge or whoever is competing in that. It's going to hit people right in the face. And on that night, you will have more people locked in on the Home Run Derby, whether they care about it or not, just because it'll be a live thing that's happening on Netflix right now.
Well, we know that the commissioner was mad about how ESPN was handling Sunday Night Baseball, and that's why they're not going to do that anymore on ESPN. I think what we are learning is that some of these entities there's way more value in them than maybe we were, I guess, led to believe a little bit in some of this stuff. Like that.
Well, I don't know that I think that the truth is live sports is among the only things that is appointment viewing for humans anymore. Like we watch our shows whenever we get to them.
Yes.
We don't all just gather around the television at 7 o'clock to watch Seinfeld.
No,
or
that's not a thing anymore.
Whatever
right.
people used to do. It's just not really a thing. I think on some level we got to that with Game of Thrones on Sunday nights and perhaps some other HBO shows. But largely we watch television shows and films when we get to them. We're all carrying them around in our phones or our iPads. We get to them whenever we want to get to them. And so if you're actually trying to get humans to sit down in front of a television or in front of a screen at a specific time to watch a specific thing, about the only thing that does that is live sports. Live sports is still the thing that, hey, I can't watch this on my schedule. It starts at this time. I have to watch it on that schedule. I have to be in front of the TV for that right then. A big award show can still fill that, but for the most part, it's live sports. And so this is Netflix just understanding that we can bring these big events, not regular season Orioles-Yankees games, but big events to Netflix, and we'll have millions of baseball fans coming to us for this, and then they will be exposed to all of our other content while they're there. And so it works on Netflix's level, and then also works for MLB because they just expose you to a different audience. Like the only way you would probably hear about the home run derby in previous years is if you happen to be watching ESPN on the day of the home run derby. Then they're going to keep telling you over and over again, this thing is tonight, it's right here. But if you're not on ESPN, you're not going to see it. Well, a lot more people on a daily basis are just going to go to the Netflix app than ever go to ESPN or anything else. And when you go to that Netflix app, it's going to hit you. There will be millions of people just more aware of these events because they're on Netflix than if they were on traditional television. And that just sort of seems to be the way we're going. We're going to look up one day and all of this stuff is just going to be streaming in your phones.
Yeah, and it was a smart pivot by Netflix because years back when they, basically they had everything. They had all the shows, all the movies. Everybody was going to Netflix for everything. And then Disney was like, hold up, we could do this ourselves. We're going to pull all of our stuff off Netflix and put it on Disney Plus, Paramount, HBO. Hold on, we're going to do our own streaming services. We're going to put our IP on our services. And so people were like, well, this is going to kill Netflix because they don't have they don't have enough original programming content. They need other properties to be able to thrive. And then they got into this live sports stuff as well. And it's obviously worked out really well for them.
Yeah, the live events that they do are not limited to just sports. They've done like a live Sabrina Carpenter thing.
Right. Award shows, the SAGs,
a live John Mulaney thing that came on every week. So they've done live programming before, but this is them further getting into live sports. They understand that. I think everybody involved here understands this is good for everybody involved. MLB knows that Netflix can deliver them to a different audience and a larger audience, and Netflix knows we can bring millions of people, baseball fans, typically skew older, so you might be really gaining traction with a different demographic of older people coming to Netflix to watch America's pastime, and then they just sort of see everything else that's there, and next thing you know, they're more comfortable streaming Netflix than they otherwise would have been. So there's about 1 billion reasons to go down this path, but it seems like it's the type of thing that's going to make sense for both sides. MLB on Netflix, you'll see it for the first time in an opening night game.
Number 5.
All right, Bennett, what's going on? You're telling me it's November 2025, and if I want to rent movies again, I can do that soon?
That is correct. I'm surprised you're not familiar with Letterboxd, are you?
I don't dabble in that.
You don't dabble in Letterboxd. Okay,
why would I? Tell me what I would do with that.
It's one of my favorite social media platforms. I would go like the platforms that I dabble in are Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. And Letterboxd it's basically you go in and you can log what movies you watched and do movie reviews, and you can build your own watch list of what you want to watch, and It's a great platform. You should get on Letterboxd. Letterboxd is super underrated.
Couldn't you just write it down on a piece of paper? Like I'd like to watch Forrest Gump and then go watch Forrest Gump. Like, why do you have to involve this social media? Why does a social media app need to know what you want to watch? Why can't you just go watch it like a normal person?
In the year 2025, nothing really happened unless you let the whole world know that it happened through social media.
So you guys, you movie buffs are just out there trying to impress each other.
Exactly. It's not just it's all movies. It's all movies. This isn't just for like.
So if I went and found your profile, I would find a list of every movie you've ever watched.
Not every movie, because it's taken me a while, and I've slacked a little bit lately. I mean, I've seen a lot of movies in my life, and so it's gonna take me a long time to log all of these, man. Like I gotta sit down and really put some effort into it. But they're launching this new movie rental service. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we're gonna be able to rent movies now in the year 2025. So the thing is, though, it's not. I don't think you're gonna be able to rent like Too Fast, Too Furious on here or anything like that.
Oh, well, damn, that's disappointing.
Yeah. I don't know about that. I think it's going to be more like movies that are harder to find.
Okay, so I know exactly what you're talking about. Here's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
So my buddy is Jason D. Williams. You know Jason D. Williams.
Yes.
He's a piano player. And he is actually the hands in the Great Balls of Fire movie from way back when.
Yeah.
And so, and then I'm trying to tie all this stuff together. My middle son, one of his best friends, within the past year, moved to a new neighborhood that is like right across the street from Jerry Lee Lewis's old ranch, where Jerry Lee Lewis lived until he died.
Okay.
And so I cannot take my son to this house or pick him up from this house without driving by Jerry Lee Lewis's home. And so then you end up telling your sons about Jerry Lee Lewis. Not everything, but, some of it. And then it's like you listen to Jerry. Then we're listening to Jerry Lee Lewis songs on the way back home. And at some point, my wife was like, well, hey, we should show them Great Balls of Fire. They would probably like that movie.
Yeah.
And can't find it. Can't stream it. So my understanding is that this new entity, that's where you would go for this.
Yes.
I can't find Great Balls of Fire to stream anywhere, but this place will be able to rent it to me. That's how we're going to watch Great Balls of Fire.
That is correct, GP. That is correct. They are doing this for the cinema lover, okay? They're doing it for people who are in it for the love of the game. And I think it's kind of cool. I don't know. There might be a little fee attached to it. I'm not entirely sure.
Oh, I'm sure there's a fee attached to it.
It's not like a subscription service or anything like that. It'll be like, it obviously won't be going to Blockbuster because there's not a physical exchange, but it might be similar to like, when you rent something on like demand or something like that, I guess.
Benny, you don't really have any idea what's going on with this thing, do you?
No, yeah, I do. I just explained it.
Randall's in the chat. He says you did not explain it well. You're being judged by the chat.
I didn't explain what they're doing well. Well, it's still to be determined, like what it's exactly going to look like. They weren't like super descriptive. Basically, what it is. All right, Letterboxd Video Store is a film rental platform inside of Letterboxd, the social media platform. Think of it as curated shelves instead of just scrolling lists endlessly without being able to make up your mind on what you want to watch. These shelves are built from what our members are actually hunting down. Like Great Balls of Fire.
Okay, I'm going to rent Great Balls of Fire.
Yeah, so they did say it'll be festival standouts, long watch listed films, restorations and rediscoveries, and limited time drops.
All right. You know what? It sounds like it's something probably for you, but less so for me.
I think it's going to be cool. I think you should get on the reason I bring this all up is I think you should get on
You just wanted to talk about Letterboxd.
It's a great social media platform. It is one of
I need to get on there. I need to jump on Letterboxd and be like, hey guys, I just want to let everybody know I watched Pulp Fiction one time.
And it's kind of funny. Like you'll get people on there that do really funny movie reviews and stuff like that. So it's entertaining. It's an entertaining social media platform.
I feel like I have enough things to entertain me. I don't need anything else to entertain me. I can't even get to all of the things.
I would already rank it ahead of Facebook. I mean, it ain't even close.
But I like to see on Facebook. Facebook is great to see what type of disasters people you used to know are going through. That's what Facebook is for, just to find out what kind of disaster these people are enduring. It's just disasters over on Facebook.
Why do people leave it all out there on that one? I don't understand that.
I just know this. My life could be falling apart. You will not know because of my Facebook page. All right, you'll never tell.
Yeah.
By Facebook, my life could be completely falling apart. You ain't gonna read about it on Facebook,
but
or at least
wild,
it won't be me.
Dude.
It won't be me doing it.
You'll see people get on there and be like, "My husband's a piece of crap," and here's why. And it's like, whoa, like
buddy,
just tell him, call him, and say it to his face.
Yeah, can't y'all do this? Can't y'all do this in your kitchen like normal people?
Right.
Why are you fighting on Facebook when you can fight in your kitchen like normal people? What do you?
Yeah,
I know. I see it all the time.
That's wild.
I see it all the time. Like,
I wouldn't know. I'm not on it anymore. I haven't been on it in a decade.
I love it. I can't. I know. Like it. I just scroll. I don't do nothing. I just look. I just go, oh man, I wonder what's going on over here.
People can still come up to me and are like, hey, I friended you. I tried to friend you on Facebook. I'm like, I don't. I haven't looked at it in a decade. I have no idea.
I saw one a few weeks ago. I won't get too specific, but a woman caught her husband having an affair with her best friend.
Oof.
It's tough. And I mean, it was all out there. Like I didn't know this person was married. I didn't really know anything about these people. But by the time I was done, I knew everything about them. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
And other families were getting tagged.
Oh.
And teenage kids were coming on to defend their parents.
Whew.
And it was like sad. It was sad because these lives are wrecked, right? But it was, why are you putting all this out? Why do I need to know this?
And you saw every bit of it too. I know you read every bit of it.
Buddy, are you kidding me? I was following every link there was. I was like, okay, let's see who. I'm making up names because I don't want to incriminate.
Yeah,
but it was
careful.
like, let's say one person was named Mary, and I'd be like, all right, let's see what Mary's up to over here. Let me go look at what everything Mary's ever done in her life.
Mm-hmm.
So then I spent 30 minutes investigating Mary's life. I know everything about her, and I just by the time I got to the end of it, I was like, I suppose this was going to be complicated for these people to try to work through this or not, no matter what. But it probably gets way more complicated when all of your friends are reading about it on Facebook. Don't you think?
I think so. Yes, I think so.
But it's none of my business, you know? I guess everybody can just handle it.
It is your business. They put it out there in front of you, buddy. It's everyone's business now.
Man, buddy.
You put it on Facebook, it's everybody's business.
She posted, she said something along the lines of, well, she can have him if she wants him, because then she started talking about erectile dysfunction.
Oh, well, I mean.
Talk about kicking a man when he's down.
Yeah, that's tough.
It's tough. It was tough. It was tough. Anyway, I feel like I'm entertained enough. Facebook keeps me entertained.
Okay.
But if you're expecting for me to entertain you on Facebook with all my bullshit that's going on, no chance. I just keep all my bullshit to myself.
Yeah.
Right?
Follow me on Letterboxd. I'm trying to get the following count up.
Ben is trying to get his follower count up on Letterboxd. Should I just go over to Letterboxd, create an account, and be like, hey, guys, I wanted to let y'all know
I haven't been very active.
I watched The Usual Suspects.
That's really casual. I don't know if they'd accept you that quickly. You're going to have to come a little stronger than that.
What if I went over there to Letterboxd and logged in and I was like, hey, guys, just wanted to let everybody know I've seen most of the Batman movies.
They have to. These are real film buffs, man.
Okay, well, what if I logged in and I was like, and I've also seen all of the Spider-Man movies. Even the cartoon ones.
That's, you're getting there. Great Balls of Fire would do good. That would do good.
What if I created an account and the only thing I do is say, hey, guys, I just want you to know I have seen Great Balls of Fire. That's my friend's hands. And my kid's friend lives next to where Jerry Lee Lewis used to live. And then that would just be my whole post.
Yeah, I think some people would be like, oh, wow, forgot about that one. Nice call out. Like that. Yeah.
All right, maybe I will, Bennett. You know, I got a few hours before I got to get in studio.
Okay.
I got a little time to kill.
Good.
Maybe I'll kill some time. Anyway, if you want to rent movies for some reason in the year 2025, Letterboxd is going to give you the opportunity to do it.
And bring back Blockbuster.
Bennett, let's not get greedy, all right?
Okay.
Let's not get greedy, all right? Be back with GP's Carry-On.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
Jeff Dunham, Artificial Intelligence, his all-new tour.
Jeff Dunham. You're the other white meat. MJ, how can you be so smart on one hand and so stupid on the other? Well, you're half of it. I realize I could have avoided all this years ago with one simple word. I do not. Silence!
Don't miss a Memphis. Friday, April 10th, FedEx Forum. Tickets on sale Monday, September 29th at jeffdunham.com.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Not too late. Be sure to go get one of the 3 Grind City media rolls at Sticks Express in downtown Memphis, because a portion of the proceeds from the roll that sells the most is going to go to a charity of our choice. There's the Gary Parrish roll, the Jessica Benson roll, and the Chris Vernon roll. You know which one I think you should get. Order online with code STICKS901 and knock 10% off your tab. That's Sticks Express. Fast, fresh, always a slam dunk. And don't forget, you can also go visit them in the Collierville location. Let's wrap this up with GP's Carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we miss today?
Interesting headline in the NFL. Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts said he is unfazed by reports that there are people in the organization frustrated with him. Would you be unfazed, Bennett? What if there was a report just came out today and it was a big headline and it was like, hey, everybody at Grind City Media has had enough of Bennett Doyle?
No, I'd be upset just like he should be. I just won y'all a Super Bowl.
I just won y'all a Super Bowl and you're all talking shit behind my back.
Yeah, what is this?
That really is what's going on.
Yeah.
He's the face of your franchise. He's your quarterback, Super Bowl winning quarterback, and there are people who align themselves with him, who I'm sure he considers friends and coworkers, who are talking behind his back. That's not nice.
I got an idea of who it might be, but
I got
an idea of who it might be.
Who it is. I know who it is.
You've been complaining a lot lately.
It's probably A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown is probably doing group Zooms with Adam Schefter, Josina Anderson, all of them. He's like, look, off the record, but the guy's a real problem.
It's like T.O. Donovan McNabb all over again.
Hey, I want you to know that if there is ever a report that everybody at Grind City Media is frustrated with you and feel like you're holding the team back,
would you stand up for me?
Yeah, I would. But more than that, I was gonna make it clear it would not be me that was speaking as a source to the reporter. It would not be me badmouth. Who do you think would be badmouth? If somebody was badmouthing you, one of your coworkers, who do you think it would be? Roser?
Yeah.
Probably.
Or CJ. Yeah, one of those
CJ?
two.
You think CJ would talk bad about you?
It could be one of them. It could be one of them.
Why do you think CJ would talk bad about you?
I don't know. Just, maybe.
I can see Roser. I think CJ just sort of keeps to himself. I think CJ would be just going to keep like, hey, it ain't none of my business.
Roser,
I think CJ's locked in on CJ. I don't think he's worried about you.
He ain't worried about me that much. Yeah, that's probably fair. Roser, ever since he's taken on the big white ego, I feel like it's, us little guys, he might be kicking to the curb, possibly.
You think so?
I could see that.
Okay, that's interesting.
He's blossomed into a star, and I just wonder if he sees me lesser than these days,
Oh, you should see him walking around the Lander Center.
That's what I'm saying.
I saw him walking around the Lander Center. Whew.
Yeah.
He's just got an aura about him,
He's got a new aura about him, and I'm worried he's forgotten about us little guys a little bit.
Okay,
that's all.
It might be Roser who would badmouth you as a source to local reporters, but it would not be me. I am not a Philadelphia Eagle. I would not talk badly behind my quarterback's back. If I had something to say, I'd say it right to his face.
Yeah.
All right.
What's today's biggest game?
You ready for some Thursday night football?
Yeah.
Well, you doesn't sound like you're ready for some Thursday night football.
Who's playing tonight? Hang on.
It's the Bills and the Texans.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm ready.
I thought you had love in your heart for Buffalo.
I do have love in my heart for Buffalo. Yes, we got the Buffalonians coming to town next week. So
okay.
Yeah. We got some fam coming in from Buffalo next week. So shout out to the Bills.
7:15 kick, Prime Video. Bills are 7-3. Texans are 5-5. We're doing it down at NRG Stadium in Houston. Buffalo -6. Totals 43.5. How you going to act?
I'll take the Bills. Yeah. This might be a little bit of funny business because the Texans are rolling out a backup quarterback, but I don't. And I know their defense is really good, but Josh Allen had like 6 touchdowns last week. Like he can put that team on his back. I'm gonna go Bills. I'm good there.
Bennett says he's going to lay 6 points. Buffalo -6 tonight. That's the play. 7:15 kick, Prime Video.
What are we watching on TV?
I think you just watch Inside College Basketball. We got a special 30-minute edition at 4:30 Central. CBS Sports Network. It'll be me, Brent Stover, Wally Zerbiak, and Emeka Okafor in studio at 4:30, getting you ready for a 5 o'clock tip between Memphis and top-ranked Purdue. So join me in a few hours, channel 221, if you got DirecTV.
What's the best thing we've read?
I don't know if it's the best, but it is something. Top 25 and 1 has been updated. Like I told you earlier, I moved Arizona to number 1 on the strength of the resume. They've got 3 top 15 victories in the first 17 days of this season. Arizona is now 1, Purdue 2, Houston 3. You can read it, cbssports.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow will be Friday. I'll still be here in New York. Jessica Benson will join me in the first hour. Hopefully, we'll be discussing the snapping of a losing streak, and not the Kings, specifically the Grizzlies.
Please, God.
Somebody's losing streak is getting snapped tonight. We hope it's the Grizzlies' losing streak, and Sacramento's gets extended to 8. By this time tomorrow, the Grizzlies should be on a 0-game losing streak, and the Kings should be on an 8-game losing streak.
Yes.
And if that's not what we're dealing with, I'm gonna jump on Facebook and get wild.
Yes.
I'm going to say some wild stuff on Facebook because I need an outlet to express myself. All right?
All right.
You enjoy the rest of your day.
You too, man.
I'm going to enjoy mine. We're going to meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.